When you hear the word saffron, what comes to mind? Maybe you picture a golden yellow dish of paella from Spain, or perhaps a luxurious dessert delicately infused with strands of red threads. But here's the kicker. Saffron isn't just known for its vibrant color and flavor. It's also known as the world's most expensive spice. We're talking about prices that can reach thousands of dollars per kilogram. That's more than silver, sometimes even more than gold. But why? What makes these tiny red threads worth so much? Today we're diving into the fascinating story of why saffron is so expensive. And by the end, you'll understand exactly why this spice is so unbelievably costly. Let's get into it, right here, on History of Simple Things. Let's start at the very beginning, what saffron actually is. Saffron comes from the crocus sativus flower, often called the saffron crocus. When this purple flower blooms, it produces 3 bright red stigmas, the delicate threads that we call saffron. Yes, only 3. And those 3 little stigmas are the spice itself. That's already a hint at why saffron is rare. Imagine how many flowers you need just to get a small handful of threads. To put it into perspective, it takes about 75,000 saffron flowers to make just 1 pound of saffron. And because each flower gives only 3 stigmas, harvesting is unbelievably labor-intensive. There's no shortcut, no machine that can perfectly pick out the stigmas without damaging them. It's all done by hand. And not just any kind of hand-picking, this process requires patience, delicacy, and timing. Now here's another twist. Saffron flowers bloom only once a year, and not for weeks on end, just a short window of a few days during autumn. Farmers have to move quickly to harvest the stigmas during this brief blooming period. Otherwise, the flowers wither, and the precious threads are lost. Think about the pressure. A whole year of waiting, only a few days to act, and tens of thousands of flowers to pick through. That's not farming. It's a race against nature. And remember, each stigma must be carefully plucked by hand. After harvesting, they also need to be dried under very controlled conditions. Drying too much and they lose their flavor and aroma. Too little and they spoil. That's why experienced saffron producers often treat this as an art form. Every thread that makes it to market is the result of painstaking work and years of knowledge passed down through generations. Labor is only one part of the story, though. Let's talk about land and yield. 1 acre of saffron crocus plants produces only a few pounds of saffron per year. Compare that to crops like wheat, rice, or corn that yield thousands of pounds from the same space. You can see why saffron doesn't come cheap. Farmers dedicate land and effort to a crop that gives them such tiny amounts of spice, but the demand for it, culinary, medicinal, and even cosmetic, remains high. Culinary-wise, saffron is unmatched. A pinch of saffron can transform a dish entirely, giving it a golden hue, a floral yet earthy aroma, and a subtle taste that no other spice can replicate. It's essential in iconic recipes like Persian rice dishes, Spanish paella, Indian biryanis, and French bouillabaisse. Because it's so powerful, you don't need much, but that also makes it a luxury. The experience of eating saffron-infused food isn't just about taste, it's about indulging in something rare and extraordinary. But let's get into the economics. At the highest quality, saffron can cost anywhere from $500 to $5,000 per pound, depending on where it's grown and how it's graded. Iran currently dominates the saffron market, producing about 90% of the world's supply. Other countries like Spain, India, especially Kashmir, Afghanistan, and Greece also cultivate saffron, but usually in smaller quantities. Each region produces slightly different flavors and colors, which can affect pricing. Quality also plays a huge role in cost. The grading of saffron is based on color intensity, aroma, and flavor strength. The deepest red stigmas, with little to no yellow or white attached, are considered premium quality. That's why you'll often see terms like superior grade or all red saffron. Lower grades, which include parts of the yellow style, are less potent and more affordable, though still not cheap. So far, we've talked about labor, rarity, and yield. But there's one more factor: medicinal properties. Saffron isn't just a spice, it's also considered a healing plant. For centuries, it's been used in traditional medicine to treat everything from depression and anxiety to menstrual pain and digestive issues. Modern research even suggests saffron has antioxidant properties, potential benefits for mood regulation, and possible uses in eye health. While science is still uncovering its full potential, this perception of saffron as both food and medicine adds to its desirability, and of course, its price tag. Of course, saffron's high price means it often gets labeled as a luxury spice. But it's important to note that a little goes a long way. You don't need a whole ounce to flavor your dish. Just a few strands, steeped in warm water or milk, can infuse an entire pot of rice or a batch of dessert. So while the upfront cost looks steep, saffron is used so sparingly that it can actually last quite a while. Think of it like perfume: concentrated, rare, and powerful. So the next time you see those delicate red threads in a jar at the store, or taste saffron in a dish, you'll know that you're not just experiencing a spice. You're experiencing the result of thousands of flowers, countless hours of human labor, centuries of tradition, and a history that spans civilizations. And maybe then, the price won't feel so outrageous, because saffron isn't just food. It's a story, a heritage, and a little bit of magic captured in a thread. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.